Darren Elkins versus Ryan Hall takes place this weekend at UFC Fight Night 155 on ESPN Plus 13 Sacramento. Headlined by Durandamy versus Ladd. It's a good fight between Hall and Elkins. Very good fight. The Damage makes his return. Another Team Alpha Male member. However, I do think that Darren Elkins is going to win this fight. When you look at Darren Elkins' success, you look at the Michael Johnson fight, which I believe was his last win that he's had. If I'm correct. Yes, it was. The last win he had was against Michael Johnson, where on the feet, he was actually getting punished heavily by Michael Johnson, eating big shots. As soon as he got it to the ground, though, he finds a way. Darren Elkins finds a way, and I know he's been held down before by guys like Masad Bektik. You know, at the end, he managed to get the finish, but in the first 2 rounds, he was being held down and kind of controlled. I feel like some guys are overrating Ryan Hall a little bit. I think I even said Ryan Hall in my quickfire predictions videos, but I just can't see him winning, man. Darren Elkins so seasoned on the ground, and how much are we giving for a win over BJ Penn? You know what I'm saying? BJ Penn's a sacrificial lamb at this point. You want to increase someone's status in the UFC, feed him to BJ Penn. They'll beat him easily. You know, BJ Penn's supposed to be this wizard in jiu-jitsu, immediately gets heel hooked by Ryan Hall. And also, when you look at Ryan Hall, jiu-jitsu specialist, everyone's making a huge deal out of him. 7 wins, 3 submissions. You know? It's something just... There's issues there where he can't quite find the submission. He didn't get a submission against Gray Maynard. Obviously, Artem Lobov, he went to a decision as well in the Ultimate Fighter finale. Like, it's rough, man. It is rough. Like, he loses a unanimous decision in his MMA debut, which I understand if it's your debut, you're going to be a little bit rusty. But the guy he lost to is 9-7. Like, it's a rough one for me. I don't know how I can see Darren Elkins getting caught in a submission, if I'm honest with you. Because if you look at Darren Elkins' record, he hasn't been caught in a submission since 2010. You know? And plenty of guys have tried to hold him down and get the finish. And he hasn't been caught in a submission since 2010. I think this fight stinks for Ryan Hall, if I'm honest with you. And I kind of think that they're pushing him a little bit too fast. You know, so what if you beat Gray Maynard and BJ Penn? They're like 1 step away from fucking retirement. BJ Penn should have been retired 5 years ago, if we're honest. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much I rate those wins. However, he has good top control. I just feel like Darren Elkins, he's coming off 2 losses in a row, which means kind of like your career kind of relies on this. You know what I'm saying? Your career relies on you winning this fight. I know Ryan Hall's good, but I don't know how much I rate a win over BJ Penn. Yeah, he's a good jiu-jitsu guy, but you know, BJ Penn just seems to get smacked around left, right, and centre. I know Ryan Hall's a good fighter, but fuck's sake, man. This is a rough fight. This is a rough fight to judge. I'm going to go with Darren Elkins, though. I'm going with my gut. I want to say Ryan Hall. And my initial thought was Ryan Hall. But I can't see Darren Elkins getting put in a flush position where he's going to get submitted. You know, he's very aware of the fight on the ground. Very aware. He's only been submitted once in his entire career. I just can't see it. And I don't see... Like, Darren Elkins wins too many parts of this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because if Ryan Hall can't get a submission, he's not going to be able to skate around the edges and edge out a stand-up fight with Darren Elkins. You know, Darren Elkins clearly has the advantage stand-up-wise. You know, he has a good wrestling base as well. Fighting at a Team Alpha Male on the same card as Josh Emmett and Uriah Faber. They're all training together for the same dates. I just don't see a way that Ryan Hall's going to get this one done. And I know a lot of people are picking him to win this. I feel like Darren Elkins is actually going to pull off the win. I think it's going to be a risky some positions on the ground. I think Ryan Hall's probably going to go for some takedowns early. I don't think Darren Elkins is going to let him have it. And I think Darren Elkins is going to piece him up and find a TKO finish against the cage and finish Ryan Hall in the 2nd or 3rd round. I think the 1st round's going to be on the ground. Okay? I think there may be a scramble where Ryan Hall finds himself in some kind of good position, but Darren Elkins is going to find his way to weasel out of things. I feel like Darren Elkins is going to get the job done. He wins this fight in too many areas, and I don't see him submitted. You know? I just don't. And also, a lot of times with BJ Penn, I think a lot of people overrate his jiu-jitsu. I'm being genuinely serious here. People are going to hate on me for this. Because, like, you don't understand jiu-jitsu. I understand jiu-jitsu. BJ Penn's jiu-jitsu is overrated. And that's a fact. BJ Penn's jiu-jitsu is extremely overrated. And you might be saying, oh, well, you don't know that, but he's got 16 wins and 6 submissions. You know? And although that's not a lot to judge, you know, like, he doesn't submit guys a lot, and he, like, for a jiu-jitsu guy, he's been on top of guys a lot, and he's never been able to do things. You know what I'm saying? Who's his last submission win against? Kenny Florian, 2009. I don't rate a win from Ryan Hall over BJ Penn. I think Ryan Hall's a good guy. I think any good up-and-comer would beat BJ Penn easily. Easily would beat BJ Penn, especially now. You know, because a few years ago, we still had it a little bit. You know, he was still somewhat of a threat. Now, it's just fucking kill him. Like, I don't know what we have to do to stop BJ Penn from fighting, but he hasn't won a fight since 2010. He hasn't won a fight in 9 years. And he's still fighting. I don't rate a win over him. I feel like I rate Darren Elkins. I really do. He's lost. When you look at his losses as well, Ricardo Lamas is a savage. Obviously, he hasn't been looking too good recently, but back then that's a win, and that's a good win. That Ricardo Lamas is a ranked fighter. Went the distance with Max Holloway. Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, you know, like, no one has beat him in the UFC, so I don't really see that as a bad sign from Darren Elkins. I still think he has it, and I think he's an absolute savage, and I think he's going to beat Ryan Hall. I really do think he's going to beat Ryan Hall. I don't see what I need to see from Ryan Hall, if I'm honest with you. I need to see, if I'm honest with you, like, if I look at Kron Gracie. Let's look at Kron Gracie's record real quick, and you're going to tune in with me while I do this. 5 wins, 5 submissions. Only 1 has gone into the second round. They're all in the first round. He gets guys down, he submits them instantly. That's high-level jiu-jitsu. Ryan Hall, 7 wins, 3 submissions. You know, like, it just doesn't have the same ring to it as a guy that's going to be you're in immediate danger when you're on the ground. I feel like Darren Elkins is going to be able to survive the ground pressure, find his way in the late second or third round to get the TKO finish, and Darren Elkins is going to get the W. If he does lose, though, bare knuckle boxing. Darren Elkins, the damage on his chest, he's literally built for bare knuckle boxing. So if he wants to, and get a little bit of dosh walla walla, or go to Bellator, whatever he wants to do, I'll watch him fight. I don't mind. Darren Elkins has options. You know what I'm saying? He's a well-known enough guy. So yeah. Darren Elkins, Ryan Hall. Darren Elkins by second or third round finish by TKO. Like and subscribe. Click that. Goodbye.